and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Good morning, LaPorte County in Northwest Indiana, and welcome to the Friday Night Spotlight High School Football Scoreboard Show. I'm Travis Harmon-Smith, also in partnership with arenasportsnet.com, where every fan has a voice. Well, let's talk high school football, and when I say let's talk football, let's talk Michigan City Wolves football, as Michigan City head coach Phil Mason and the Wolves put the Chesterton Trojans away in week 3 of Duneland Athletic Conference action 20-0. Not only was it a historical win for Michigan City, it was the first time that a Michigan City program, for that matter, has won on the road against a DAC team like Chesterton since 1995. So, a very interesting fact to note early on in the show. Offensively, it was the dynamite duo of speedster Marquise Hurt and the freight train himself, also known as ACV, Arian Kane Vesey, as the two running backs combined for 283 yards on 52 carries and 3 touchdowns. Kane Vesey scored 2 touchdowns with 75 yards rushing, while Division I commit Marquise Hurt had another 100-yard outing, torching the Trojan defense with 155 yards on 25 carries, which included a 35-yard run to put the Trojan defense away during the first possession of the fourth quarter. Now, defensively, I mean, how many monsters can you think of right off the top of your head that had the performance that City's defense had against the Chesterton offense? I mean, not only was it yet another shutout, but the Wolves defense brought the heat and laid the wood against Chesterton's zone read and triple option. Michigan City's defensive back Demaria Young started it all with 1 interception, following fumble recoveries from Royce Robinson Jr. and the defensive man-child himself, linebacker Nuke Woodard. One interesting fact about Woodard: when it comes to running up the gut, Woodard just has that ability to hit the gap, fill it, and causes so much havoc for most running teams. And from my analysis so far, Nuke Woodard is one of the best linebackers in the Duneland Conference, along with Orson Eckwood and defensive linemen Amir Potts and Armand Johnson, who also bring pain to the line of scrimmage for the Wolves defense. So, with Michigan City being 3-0 in the season and remaining undefeated heading into week 4, going back to Amesville for another DAC test against the Vikings of Valparaiso, you would have to wonder what type of strategy and focus Phil Mason will have at home as he faces the Vikings, who lost a close heartbreaker last night, folks, to LaPorte, 39-38, as I'll get into in our scoreboard show, which brings us to the Friday Night Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by arenasports.com, where every fan has a voice. Some scores around the Duneland Conference in LaPorte County, starting with New Prairie, as New Prairie defeated Andrean 38-28. Wheeler beat Bishop Knoll 54-16. Going back to the Duneland Conference, we have Maryville, who defeated Crown Point 41-28. Portage defeats Lake Central in a close matchup 36-33. As I said once before, LaPorte defeated Valparaiso 39-38. We also have Hobart, who beats Griffith. What an interesting win for the Hobart Brickies, winning 22-7. Hammond-Morton defeats Clark 34-0. North Newton defeats River Forest 21-0. We also have Munster, who defeated Highland demoralizingly. Munster beat Highland 47-6. And let's turn over to some scores around the state. Going down to the Indianapolis metropolitan area. We start with Heritage Hills as they defeated Pike Central 56-15. Homestead defeats Fort Lane Lures 38-27. Indian Creek defeats Owen Valley 13-7. Indianapolis Ben Davis defeated Pike 48-14. Indianapolis Broad Ripple defeats Anderson Prep Academy 12-9. Indianapolis Cathedral defeats Mishawaka 41-20. Indianapolis Northwest is over Tinley 46-6. Indianapolis Manual defeats Indianapolis Washington 26-16. And we go down to the Lafayette area as Lafayette Catholic defeats Tempton 51-23. Lafayette Harrison defeats Logansport 39-0. And going around to the South Bend area in St. Joseph County, Jimtown defeats Elkhart Central 42-20. Kokomo defeats Marion, which goes back down to the Indianapolis region, 21-12. Sorry about that, guys. And Mishawaka Marion defeats South Bend St. Joe, 42-0. So those are a few scores from around the area and around the state. Fans, don't forget next week as the Michigan City Wolves will be at home at Ames Field for yet another dueling athletic conference showdown against the Valparaiso Vikings. It'll be a week 4 showdown, and me, myself, Travis Harmon-Smith, along with my partner Brian Snow from arenasportsnet.com, we will be in the house for that matchup. Guys, don't forget to tune in every week on either arenasportsnet.com for our live feed broadcast. You can get it at the link at www.arenasportsnet.com/live to listen in to all high school football broadcasts surrounding the Michigan City Wolves this season. And also catch me, myself, Travis Harmon-Smith, for a Friday Night Spotlight each week on Fridays and Saturday evenings, bringing you either the scores from around the area, around LaPorte County in Northwest Indiana, or just bringing you the pregame analysis and postgame analysis on Friday nights. So don't forget to tune in next week, guys. I appreciate you guys for joining me once again. I'm Travis Harmon-Smith, and you're listening to Friday Night Spotlight, brought to you in part by www.arenasportsnet.com, where every fan has a voice. I would like to also thank my partner Brian Snow from Arena Sportsnet for giving me the opportunity to join the broadcast team as a reporter. So a quick shout out to Brian Snow and the rest of the staff at arenasportsnet.com. That'll be all for me, folks. Join me next week as I will be at Ames Field live for the Michigan City Showdown as they face the Valparaiso Vikings at home at Ames Field. That's going to do it for me here. I'm Travis Harmon-Smith, and you're listening to Friday Night Spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.